Let's talk about something most people get completely backwards: warming up your car in the winter. Now, you probably think you're doing the right thing. You start the car, let it idle for a few minutes in the driveway, maybe go back inside while the cabin warms up. Feels like you're taking care of the engine, right? Wrong. That safe habit could actually be flooding your cylinders with extra fuel, clogging up the exhaust with carbon, and silently shaving years off your engine's life, not to mention setting you up for a repair bill that starts with a 4. Most people don't realize what's happening because the car still runs fine, until one day it just doesn't. Here's the thing: the advice most drivers follow about warming up the car, it's not just outdated. For modern engines, it's completely backwards. And if you're still doing it the way you were taught 10 or 20 years ago, there's a good chance you're slowly wrecking your engine without even knowing it. So in this video, we're going to bust 6 common cold start myths that could be destroying your car and your wallet. Once you hear myth number 1, you'll understand why gentle idling is anything but gentle. Myth number 1, letting the car idle for 10 minutes before driving protects the engine. Okay, this one is probably the most common. You fire up the car, let it sit in the driveway, and think you're doing it a favor by letting it warm up. But here's what's really going on. Modern engines are designed to warm up while driving under light load, not while sitting still. At idle, the oil is still cold and thick, which means it doesn't flow well, especially to the top of the engine where it's needed most. On top of that, the engine runs rich at startup, meaning it's dumping extra fuel into the system. Some of that fuel can actually wash down the cylinder walls and dilute the oil in your crankcase. What does that mean for you? Thinner oil, less protection, more wear every single cold start. And that's not even touching the carbon buildup happening in the exhaust when you just let the car sit there idling. All that warming up is just wasting gas and loading your engine with gunk. What you should do instead? Start the car, let it idle for 20 to 30 seconds, just enough for oil pressure to build, then drive gently. That's how modern engines are designed to warm up. Myth number 2, revving the engine helps it warm up faster. Nope, bad idea. You might have seen someone hop in, fire it up, and immediately hit a few quick revs, thinking it helps the engine, get going. Sure, it sounds cool, but it's one of the worst things you can do to a cold engine. Remember, cold oil is thick, it doesn't flow quickly. So when you hit the gas right after startup, you're spinning bearings, timing chains, maybe even a turbo, all without proper lubrication. Think of it like running a metal grinder with no grease. You might not see the damage now, but it adds up until one day your engine starts ticking, or worse, seizes up. 4-digit repair, minimum. So yeah, don't be that guy. Keep RPMs low and throttle light until the engine, and more importantly, the oil, is fully up to temp. Myth number 3, you should wait until the temp gauge is in the normal zone before driving. Seems logical, right? Wait for that needle to move before you start driving? In reality, the best way to get your car up to temperature is to drive it gently, not let it idle. Modern engines warm up faster and more evenly when you apply light load. Rolling at low speeds, easy throttle, low RPMs, that helps the oil reach its proper viscosity and lets all the internal components settle into the tolerances they're designed for. Letting it sit and idle? That just keeps everything cold and inefficient. You're still running rich, still letting fuel mix into your oil, still building carbon where it shouldn't be. So stop watching the gauge like a hawk. Wait those 20 to 30 seconds, then just drive easy.
Myth number 4, remote start protects your engine in winter. Look, remote start is nice for you. You get into a warm cabin, the windows are defrosted, and the steering wheel isn't frozen. But for the engine, it's still just cold idling. The same problems apply: thick oil, rich fuel mix, fuel washing down the cylinders, oil getting diluted. Do that every morning and you're breaking down your oil long before the service interval is up. And it gets worse if you remote start, drive a short distance, shut it off, and repeat later. In that case, the engine never gets hot enough to burn off the moisture or fuel, so you're just accumulating damage. Remote start is fine for comfort, but it's not a substitute for a proper warm-up drive. Myth number 5, Cranking the heater, defroster, and every accessory right away is harmless. We've all done it. It's freezing out, so the second the engine turns over, you crank the heat, the rear defroster, heated seats, steering wheel, headlights, phone charger, everything. But here's the problem. A cold battery is already struggling. Stack on all that electrical load, and now the alternator and battery are both working overtime while the engine is still cold and stiff. That extra strain can shorten battery life, reduce charging efficiency, and even make your idle unstable. Better move? Let the car settle first. Fire it up, let it idle for 30 seconds, then start turning on the heat and other accessories gradually, not all at once. Myth number 6. Once the coolant gauge moves, you're good to drive hard. Another big one. People see that coolant needle start to rise and think, cool, I'm good to go. But here's the trick. Coolant warms up way faster than oil. Just because the needle moves doesn't mean the oil is up to temp. And oil is what protects your bearings, piston skirts, timing components, all the high wear areas. So if you floor it the moment that needle twitches, you're hammering parts that still don't have full lubrication. Give it time. Even after the gauge starts to move, keep it gentle for a few more minutes until the engine feels smooth and responsive, then you can drive normally. The real cold start routine that keeps your engine alive and saves you money in the long run. Let's wrap this up with the actual routine you should follow, the one that helps your engine live longer and saves you money in the long run. Step 1. Start the car. Don't rev it. Let it idle for 20 to 30 seconds so oil pressure can stabilize. Step 2. Only turn on the essentials. Skip blasting every heater and gadget right away. Let the battery and alternator ease into the workload. Step 3. Drive gently. Keep RPMs low, throttle light, and don't do anything aggressive for the first few minutes. That light load warms up the oil, the transmission, and the exhaust system, and helps burn off any leftover moisture or fuel. After that, once everything's smooth and responsive, drive like normal. Do this every cold start, and your engine stays cleaner, your turbo lasts longer, your battery stays stronger, and you avoid thousands in repairs that didn't need to happen. It's the easiest maintenance you'll ever do, and it starts before you even leave the driveway.